Hey look, more VCR content. This is just a quick analysis, tune-up, cleaning, whatever, on a Sanyo VCR from probably the late 90s, maybe even as recent as the early 2000s. It's a VHR-H519. Does not have a full display on the front. It looks like it just has a few indicator LEDs. I do have the remote, which is nice. It's a little yellowed. It's a little bit dirty. Has a detachable cord, which is kind of neat. Yeah, it's definitely yellowed. Oh, you know what? This is those modern ones with the plastic top that doesn't go down the sides. Okay. I don't even think I've opened this up yet. At least this top is RF shielded, but where does it connect to the actual grounding internally? It's got a bunch of these little bumps, but I don't know where it would actually touch. Maybe these little bumps here touch there or something? I don't know. Weird. I couldn't really find much information on this. Either who made the mechanism or when this exactly came out. So yeah, let's just go in and maybe we'll find a date, or maybe someone in the comments will know. Power. We have a power light. We have a multicolor menu. And the remote had some Energizer batteries in it that were long since dead, expired in 2013, but didn't leak. Very fortunate there. Auto setup. Set OK. Now, if I were the OK button, play? No cassette. I feel really dumb here. Oh, menu's at the top. So there's a set button then, I assume, right? It's probably right in, oh yeah, right in front of me. Okay, set. Language English, set. Auto tuning memory. Let's just hit menu and skip this. Can I skip this? Is there an exit? Clear? No, I cannot escape this at all. One moment, please. All right, I did plug a signal in, but I also just powered it off and on again to escape that. And it says no signal on channels that have no signal. That's neat. Will it actually pick up on channel? What? These are what?
Wayne and I here have decided to take it.
Okay, at least one of the channels that's added has something from me. It's in stereo, which is nice. I think there's a display button on here somewhere. Yeah. Stereo. Okay, that's all you're getting of that. Okay, let's pop a tape in. I know you're supposed to clean everything before throwing a tape in, but I prefer sacrificing my poor test tapes. It's more fun. Very leisurely. Oh, it does.
I mean, that's right across there, so don't hit it. Oh, man, I don't. That's all it is, too. I'm fucking going. No, man, you digging the mouse.
It's really trying, but it's fighting hard against something. It almost feels like there's a bit too much tension. Or stop. No, 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 no. I hit stop. Thank you. Almost feels like there's a little bit too much back tension, because it sounded like it was really struggling at first. Could just be that everything needs to work itself in. I should probably remove this guy. Boop. I'm getting a bit of whiff of smoker's home, so that's going to require some cleaning. Oh, okay, if you hit rewind twice, it kicks you out of play. So if I hit play, fast forward a single time, and then fast forward twice, it kicks me out. This is a very unfamiliar setup on here. I guess I didn't really use late Sanyo very much at all, but it seems to just be working now. Might have just been stiff. Pause looks good. What other features do we have on here? ×2? Do I have to be playing for that? Yeah, there's ×2. Hit play. There's slow. It's fine, I guess. And I have tracking. So channel does tracking. So that means that if I don't have the remote, can I adjust it? All right, we got our alarm system video going. Let's try adjusting the tracking.
Welcome to the world of Lincoln.
I think I heard hi-fi pop out. Yep.
The best in wireless home security with special features that offer convenience for your whole family.
Wow.
All in one compact unit.
Where's pause? There's pause. All right, cool. So far, you can adjust tracking on the front. You do not get the menu control, and you do not get a VFD to tell you anything. But so far, so good. It's got a lot of features it advertises. Add jump, self-setting clock, which unfortunately is no longer a thing. If I recall, certain TV channels, like it was PBS in the US, would actually embed the clock signal onto their program information that was later added into the channels. The clock information was apparently one of them. So that's useless because analog TV is dead. MTS DBS stereo, DBX stereo. So MTS was pretty common. DBX is fancy sounding. Was DBX built into MTS, or is that maybe like an extra feature, I guess? I don't know. Let's try an EP tape. Random unlabeled tape that of course isn't rewound. I have no idea what's on this. So perfect opportunity to try and rewind a tape. Does this do the super fast rewind? Yeah, it's not crazy fast, but it's a good speed. Let's test the brakes. Perfect. Do a fast forward. Perfect as well. Sound is good. I'm getting a nice clear stereo sound. It's an EP. Let's turn the volume up. Pause. Good. Fast forward. Oh, yeah, of course, hitting it twice takes you into that. Do a rewind at the end of the tape. How's my pinch roller? Solid. Not sure what that sound is. Coming from the tape? What's making that rattly sound? I have no idea what that was, but it's not chewing the tape at all, which is very good. Do ×2. Clean, slow motion. Clean.
Help us, you won't survive either.
Let's add jump. Okay. I bet you this just does something like skip forward 30 seconds. A lot of these machines had like commercial skip and add jump, and all they would do is just like a lot of modern, like I know Plex and VLC will skip forward a certain amount and skip back a certain amount. Well, this doesn't seem to be doing that. This seems to just be going. Will there be an end in sight? I remember the myth that TV channels would actually encode when the commercial break started and stopped, so that VCRs with commercial skip would actually read that information. And I never really believed it, because why would a TV channel advertise to the viewing technology when the ads are on or off? Because then people are just going to abuse that technology to not watch the ads. Yeah, see, this is just going forever. This is a useless feature.
It will come to you.
It went over an entire ad break and most of the show and never stopped. So maybe this uses a signal that maybe was present on some channels, but I can't see it being regularly used, nor can I see you relying on it. Really, I should have just looked this up. All it is, during playback, press the add jump button when a commercial starts, and then it starts to fast forward. And then press it again, or the play button when the commercial ends. And the only thing that this adds, other than using the normal controls, is that the tape will rewind for a few seconds, then playback will resume. So when you see the program and you hit play or add jump again, it'll back up a little bit so you didn't miss any of the program. Very rudimentary, but I mean, that makes sense given the technology that was available at the time. What's type? It does nothing. If I hit play,
Tricks to cure the
type.
aliens? Now that I've seen how you do.
Okay, so type does nothing. All right, I decided to dig further based on that type button because I thought it's got to be for something. Later on, you'll see me glance at the record list super and go, yeah, that's just whatever. No. Every time a recording is made with this VCR, the channel number, date, and start time information is automatically recorded on the tape. So kind of a pseudo index function. Sort of like that VOS Life's video that talks about the program information and whatnot, the channel ID and all that used to be sporadically and inconsistently used through the last days of analog TV, which I don't think this VCR actually supports. But when you call up the record list super menu, the VCR scans the information on the tape and displays it on the screen. So I'm going to go back and try this on some of my tapes with shows on them. I imagine it would have had to have been recorded with this machine specifically though. You can then use the menu to easily find a desired recording. Here's where we get into that type button. To have the program type included in the record list super menu, you must enter the program type before proceeding to step 1. So you use that specific button to enter the genre of program. That's it. There's a whole dedicated button just for this feature, just to enter the genre of program. So when you scan the tape, it won't tell you, oh, there's like Days of Our Lives recorded on. It'll just say soap. Interesting idea. I wonder how many people actually use this. Anyway, back to me. It's got index, it's got a 0. I'm assuming that is for the counter. Let's hit play. Display. Oops. Oh, no. I think this is just the tape sucks. Yeah, the rattling's coming from this tape. Yeah, so that just takes you to the 0 counter. So how do I the reset resets the counter. And then index does an index search, so I can hit rewind. This remote's really good. I can use it up here and the VCR will detect it down there. Did it find an index? Is this actually working? Was this recorded with an index? Damn. No.
Tale of espionage.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding and there's something on history. Let's hit rewind. So right where it ended there, right at the beginning of that commercial, is it a changeover from recordings? It is! Oh, damn, that actually worked. Let's try that again. Index. Now I want to rewind. So this should take me to the beginning of that Teletoon cartoon. Man, if some of these tapes I still need to go through are recorded with an index, that's going to make things so much freaking easier.
Being in the universe, that's where you're
Bully. So let rewind. Yeah. Perfection. So this is the previous recording. Let the auto tracking kick in. Okay, so the hi-fi sound sounds great. The picture looks great, both speeds. The functions seem to all work. I think the only thing this is going to need is a cleaning. And I might give it a pretty thorough one because that cigarette tar that's on stuff, I hate that. Let's pay the LP tax and then I'm going to give this a good cleaning. Now this machine is SP EP only. So it doesn't record an LP. So how does it handle playing LP? Just fine. Fast forward. This is more what I expect from LP special effects. Yeah, fine. Just fine. Pause. Actually, pause is pretty good. Times 2. Times 2 is almost perfect. Slow motion. Yeah. Oh, actually, it cleans itself up. Good. Good. And I mean, this tape isn't exactly a good example. It's a very cheap movie release. Like, really the only reason a commercial tape would be released in a speed slower than SP is to save money. This is an A60 tape. So I don't know what A means on that, but if it's a similar length to a T60, it would only fit 60 minutes in SP mode. So of course, LP is half the speed, you fit 2 hours, and you can save money. And I think I mentioned in previous videos, this is not even recorded in hi-fi audio. 1989. And this is linear mono audio only. So I've taken the mechanism off the circuit board. There's a couple screws underneath, some screws above. I like to take the whole board out with the mechanism. There's, I think, 2 screws back here, 2 screws on the front. Again, you have to fake load the tape in to get these 2 front ones through these little holes. And then there was 2 screws on the bottom going up into the mechanism, and then there was 2 screws from the circuit board going to the outer chassis there and there. So now it's out. I've been cleaning everything in here, and wow, there's a lot of cigarette crud. Definitely in a smoker's home, unfortunately. And so I'm just kind of cleaning as much of this as I can. As you can see in the power supply, there's a lot of this sort of dust that's formed because of the high voltage. So I'm going to clean all that crap out because I bet this is contributing to the smell, no doubt. So lots of cleaning. Damn, look at this. This is quite nasty. While I'm in here, I might as well clean the mode switch. So let's just unclips from the board. And then I should be able to release it with those clips on the bottom. Definitely a two-handed job. So I'll start just with some isopropyl alcohol in here. Let's see how dirty this is. I doubt this one's that bad. It's working fine. Yeah, a little bit of dirt. And as usual, do the same thing. Clean these, put some deoxit, and pop it back together. Now, one annoying thing when I want to put this back on here is that, as you can see, they've marked the eject mode. So when the tape's fully ejected, you line this up. However, to get at the screws on this mechanism to get it out, you have to fake a tape in and partially load it. So I'm going to just manually wind this out. Although it was sitting here. Yeah, I don't want to mess up the timing. I'll just manually eject it, I think. And here's a look at the underside of the mechanism. Single belt design. Belt looks good. This is the loading and eject motor. So I just spun this to bring this gear all the way around. And you can actually see how this gear meshes with the mode switch. So this little piece here goes into the circuit board, and this arrow that I've lined up with eject mode lines up with this notch right here. So that's going to mesh nicely. All the grease seems to look good. Everything's looking fine down here, so I'm not going to mess with it. And you can see this is a fully featured design. The light stock is on a nice vertical piece of plastic here where you can drop the mechanism down directly on it, unlike that Panasonic I looked at recently. And there's a nice big hole for it to go through. There's also these reel table speed sensors, which are just a little infrared beam, an IR receiver and an IR transmitter. And they actually go down in here into the reel table where there's little pieces of plastic that will block or let the light through as the reel spins. whereas the real table spins. So it determines the speed of the two reels in the tape based on these two sensors. So the motor assembly just has a plug that automatically will sit on this side. Fully race head clips in there. Audio control track has a cable. And then there's ribbon cables for the video head motor and the video signal. Man, this cleaned up beautifully. The remote looks brand new to me. The buttons are a little bit yellowed, but if you take the cover off and you see the part that wasn't exposed, it was still kind of a yellowy color, so it's only sort of darker, but I think these were still yellow even when brand new. But I mean, this plastic is just minty. Very good. And the VCR itself polished up nicely. It's got a few little gouges here and there, but overall, very nice. And the smell is completely gone from the outside. It's gone from the remote. There is a little bit of the smell remaining inside just because, you know, without getting super detailed, I mean, you can only clean so much of the mechanism, you can only clean so much of the circuit board, but I got a fair bit of it, so. I think this is as much cleaning as this machine deserves. It seems like a nice little machine. I think it's actually made by Sanyo. I'm really not familiar with this era of Sanyo, but it just has that feel and that sound. I had a mid-90s Sanyo that had a very similar sounding loading motor. It sounds a lot like the Video 8 camcorders that had the little compact noisy motors. Same idea. Like if I put this tape in here,
Folks can watch your home around the clock.
so yeah, and it's very interesting on-screen display. Saying no signal, I mean, that wasn't very common in these blue screen eras. It does sort of a Sony thing. This is a very Sanyo thing of having that C there. But like, look, it's got different colors of blue. It gets darker with no signal, and it's gray when you're tuning.
Same.
Fucking digital. Yeah, and if we get into the menu here, let's see what the menu does. It demands that I set the clock first. 0420, and then the year is 99, and we'll just pick a time, 222 a.m. Set to set. Okay, now if I hit menu, now I can get into the stuff. I love these little colorful menus like this. VCR setup. I guess set. Cable box, no. MTS, audio out. Child lock, off timer. Let's go back. What else we got? Timer program. Don't really care about that. Record list super. So this must be for the Super VCR Plus, maybe? Channel, date, start, time. Oh, no, this is just the list of stuff you've already put in there. Auto tuning memory. Set, okay. It's real slow. Also, it's set to cable, so it's not going to get a lot of channels. Actually, let's see what channels it does pick up from UHF, because there's a bit of overlap with UHF and cable. If I recall, the lower UHF channels are somewhere in the 70s for the cable TV channels. So 14's probably like 72, between 72, 77. Let's see what we get. It's still going, but it's so slow that the mechanism timed out and unloaded the tape, because it's sitting here stopped. And I guess it unloads the tape to protect it, which maybe is only after a minute or two. And this is just chugging along. So slow. All right, let's see how it did. So we're going to go down. Yeah, so 64 is 120. This will be, yeah, channel 61. What's interesting is it's still got the stereo separation signal. It's just fuzziness. Still there. I think most of the channels aren't up right now, so... Oh, it's picking up a lot of noise in between them.
extra function to the room.
Yeah, in the 70s. Yeah, that one's locked.
This. Are you kidding? Are they gonna rip?
Man, every once in a while,
Or related to.
let's find a station I can just sit on. That one's not even stereo. Okay, I can sit here. It's weird that it's saying some of these are stereo. I think this one is stereo. This one definitely is. But channel 10 isn't. So, yeah, that's weird. Anyway, enough of this playing around with the tuner that doesn't really matter. Yeah, just verified this definitely is a Sanyo mechanism, so that's good. Well, I think that's about it for this VCR. Everything's cleaned up, good to go. Kind of just went off randomly looking at stuff with no particular order, so I'm going to call it here. The one last thing that I wanted to test out was this record list super. So I've just hit start at the bottom, and let's see if it finds anything on this tape. I doubt it will. It feels like it's a pretty specific feature to this model. Alright, so it just rewound to the beginning and now it's fast forwarding, and I guess it's going to stop at every index and look for information. So far the first program has no information and the second program has no information. I think I'm going to call it on this tape. It's just going through each index. I'll make some recordings on a different tape from different channels on the tuner on here, and let's see what it looks like. Alright, I'm creating a... What? Did it just kick me out? Oh, that's weird. It just said timer recording. Okay. I'm creating a recording to happen tonight, so I've given away today's date for whenever this video comes out. So the type button is used when you're creating a program. So let me just punch in a recording. So we'll start at 11:15 p.m. I'll go to 11:30, and we'll record this one in EP. I'll go set, and then it says press type. When you press type, you can pick the type of program. There's not a lot of options there, so it's kind of crummy, and then you hit set, and that's it. So I'm going to fill this up, let it record tonight, and then we'll take a look at what that little index function looks like when I make the list of the tape. Perfect. Welcome to the next day, or a few days later. I don't know, I'll leave that mystery out there. What we're going to do now is I've pre-rewound this tape, and let's try that record list super feature and see if it can tell me what recordings are on it. So I am going to hit menu, and it's going to make me set the clock like it does every time. Set OK. Perfect. Hit menu again. We'll go down to record list super and set to start. So far so good. All right, so it's fast forwarding. Stops. Rewinds a little bit. And then continues to fast forward. So it reads the index in reverse, which makes sense. It sees it, it's stopped, and it's picking my information up perfectly. Very cool. All right, it has found a bunch of selections, and now it's just going to keep fast forwarding. So I'm going to hit program. Let's pick 6. Oh, it's just going to keep going? But you already have all 7 programs. What else could you possibly show me? Oh, it's just going to keep shifting them down. It's waiting for me to choose one. Okay, well, I'm going to choose program 5. Now it's going to rewind, and it's going to play my program 5.
All right, real quick, we're almost out of time. Show me the iBook and one cool thing he can do.
Awesome.
You can really see that on something.
And if I hit rewind here, you can see that was the beginning of the program, and before it, it recorded
house in Houston, did you happen to come across my birth certificate?
Okay, I guess that's all I had to show. I just wanted to see a weird feature that I've never used in my life, and I don't know how many people actually even used it. And that was fun, I guess. Thanks for watching.